Happy Halloween, everyone. Miss Debbie here with a few more stories that are not too scary, but just fun for Halloween. So let's begin. A new book in our collection is called Melvina Whitmoore, more or less a horror story, by Faith Capalia. It's about a little old lady. Melvina Whitmoore was afraid of everything. Ooh, looks like there's like dark shadows on the walls of her new house that she's moving into. But when Melvina Whitmoore bought her new home on Salisbury Lane, she hoped that she had finally found somewhere safe. Nothing could ever get to her there. And the house is on top of a sunny hill. What could be wrong? As Melvina settled into her bed in her new room in her new house, she knew that she had nary a thing to fear. Here she is reading in bed. Do you read in bed? I do. Oh, there's her little birdies in the cage. So cute. Until, ooh, things are jumping up and down on the picture shelf. The bird cage is swinging. What's going on? Bang! Ooh, made her jump in her bed. I had a bang in my house last night. Picture fell off the wall. It was scary. I didn't know what it was. Here she is flopping out of bed. Bird cage askew. Birds out of the cage. The floorboards shook beneath her. The walls began to rattle. The knob on the door began to turn, and the photos on the walls looked like they were alive. This is a crazy book. It's almost upside down. The muffled voices that bounced off the hallway walls were too loud and too many, and Melvina could feel the hairs on her neck stand straight up. Melvina tiptoed out of her bedroom and down the hallway, a massive twisting and turning place with no up and no down, and where all the floorboards creaked and the walls felt alive. She climbed and crawled and eventually found herself at the end of the hallway, where she could hear shouts and hollers echoing up the looming staircase. In her home, tracking mud across the carpet and rattling the old bones of the house were, well, Melvina didn't know quite what they were actually. They were small and large, and some had many legs, and some had none, and they moved in rhythm and with purpose. They seemed to be enjoying themselves. Here's Mummy, and here's some others. They look like they're all dressed up, enjoying themselves. Melvina was so afraid she did the only thing she could think to do. She ran. Do you run when you're scared? Yes. Melvina ran as fast as she could. The creatures and critters and horrible beasts reached for her with their clawing hands and sharp talons. Melvina felt small as she scaled the looming stairs, fearful that she might slip. And here she is, running up the stairs with creepy things coming after her. As Melvina rounded each corner and zigzagged through the hallway, she could hear the thunderous footsteps not far behind her. She turned left and right and left again, so many times she lost count, until finally she had reached her bedroom. Melvina dove into her bed, closed her eyes tight, and knew that here she would be safe. However, safety is not always what we expect it to be. And here she ran and put herself under the covers. "Excuse me," somebody said as they all came barging in the door, "but we'd really like you to join your housewarming party. We didn't mean to scare you. We were just so excited to celebrate," the skeleton rattled. "A housewarming party?" Melvina asked. Here they are, peeking in their door. Look at that disembodied hand. With a delightful commotion, the monsters and beasts and ghosts and ghouls tumbled into her room, shouting and cheering. "Of course," said the skeleton. "This is your home after all. It's your housewarming party." And they were right. This was her home. Here, with her new friends and their claws and fangs and many feet, she was free to have all the fun she wanted. Looks like a fun party. A little bit of dancing and things like that. Melvina had finally found somewhere safe, her own home. Sweet, where she could read her book with her new friends. The end. I love this book just for the colorful pictures in it. So do check it out, and so you can read it close up for yourself. Okay, let's do a couple more books. Leo, A Ghost Story by Mac Barnett. What's not to like, Mr. Barnett? Pictures by Christian Robinson. Leo. Published by Chronicle Books in San Francisco. This is Leo. Most people cannot see him. Do you see him? Here he is. But you can. Leo is a ghost. For many years, Leo lived by himself in a house on the edge of the city, reading books and drawing pictures in the dust. How sad to live by yourself, but here he is. One day in spring, a family moved in. Where's Leo? Oh, Leo's looking out the window. You see him? Leo was glad to have company. On the family's first night, he made them mint tea and honey toast. Leo thought he was being a good host. And here he made the tea and toast. And as he brought it in, the family didn't see him. They just saw a floating tray of tea and toast because the family saw things differently. They hid in the bathroom and locked the door. "This house is haunted," said the man. "I'm scared," said the woman. "I hate tea," said the boy, "and I hate ghosts." They did not know that Leo was floating above the tub. He heard everything they said. The family called in a scientist, a clergyman, and a psychic to get rid of the ghost. But they should have saved their money. Leo knew he was unwanted. He said goodbye to his home and left. I have been a house ghost all of my life, Leo thought. Maybe I would like being a roaming ghost for a while. So Leo roamed. Leo saw the city and the people who lived there. Nobody saw Leo. Here he is, little ghost. The city was not like Leo remembered it. Some places were wonderful, some places were scary. Everywhere it was so noisy. Leo went to a street corner where his favorite candy store used to be. Now nothing was there. "Excuse me," he asked a police officer. "Do you know where?" The officer walked right through him. There was an afternoon when Leo found himself roaming along a sidewalk covered in chalk drawings. He came across a girl holding chalk in her hand. The girl looked up and stared right at Leo. "I'm Jane," she said. "What's your name?" It was so strange to be looked at that at first Leo said nothing. Finally he replied, "I'm Leo." Jane nodded. "Leo, do you want to play Knights of the Round Table?" Ooh, I can show you the picture. Here she is drawing things in the sidewalk. "Yes," Leo said, because he did. "Good," said Jane. "First you have to get knighted by the king." "Who is the king?" Leo asked. "I am," said Jane. "That's why I'm wearing this crown on my head." Leo looked at her head. He did not see a crown. Still, he kneeled down and was knighted on the spot. Leo and Jane sat at a table. "Sir Leo," said Jane, "meet Sir Ruffs, a loyal dog. Don't you think he looks handsome in his armor?" "Yes," said Leo. He bowed at an empty chair. "And Sir Leo," said Jane, this is Sir Muse, a loyal cat. Don't you find his whiskers wise looking?" "I do," said Leo, and he bowed again. "And finally," said Jane, "this is Sir Squawks." Leo interrupted, "A loyal bird." Jane frowned. "No," she said, "Sir Squawks is a giant hamster." "Oh," said Leo. I'm not wearing my glasses." Jane squinted at the chair. "I guess," she said. "Jane," a woman's voice came from another room. "Tell your imaginary friends goodbye and come down to dinner." "Fine," said Jane. She turned to Leo. "My mom doesn't think imaginary friends are worthwhile, but I think you're great." And with that, she stood up and went to the kitchen. Leo felt awful. "She thinks I'm imaginary," he thought. "If I tell her I am a ghost, I will scare her away." After dinner, Jane returned to her room and gave Leo a sword. They snuck into a cave, slew a dragon, and stole all his loot. When Leo closed his eyes, he could almost see the gold coins and green scales. After a glorious feast, it was time for bed. Oh, look at what the cave was. A blanket just hung over like a clothesline. That's pretty fun. Jane gave Leo a pillow and a sheet. "Don't tell Sir Ruffs," she said, "but you are my best imaginary friend." "Yes," said Leo. He was so happy he couldn't sleep. Leo went to the living room so he wouldn't wake Jane with his rustling. All night he lay on the floor designing his coat of arms. And so Leo was awake when a sneak thief climbed through the window. "Halt!" cried Leo. But the thief passed through him on his way to the silverware. Later, Leo would not be able to say where the idea came from. He threw the bedsheet over himself and flew at the thief, who was so frightened he dropped all the salad forks. Leo chased the man into a closet, then slammed the door shut and locked him inside. It was very well done. And here he is in his sheet chasing the thief. The sound of the door woke Jane, who called the police and roused her mother. A squad car came and hauled the man off to jail, and that was that. Thanks, said Jane. You're welcome, said Leo. I'm glad I could help. But Leo, said Jane, if you're my imaginary friend, how did you scare that robber? Leo looked down at the carpet. Jane, I told you a lie. I'm a ghost. I said I was your imaginary friend, but I'm not. I am just your real friend. Oh, said Jane, well, that's even better. And they went to the kitchen to have mint tea and honey toast at midnight. The end. And here's Leo, because he can walk through walls. The end. That was a pretty good story. Well, I have a couple of minutes left. So I saved the baby book for the end. So if you have any little brothers or sisters, they could listen to this one. It's called Trunk or Treat by Chris Ayala-Kronos, illustrated by Rea Zhai. Do you do trunk or treat rather than trick or treat? Most towns do that nowadays. There's a family getting ready. One time when I worked at a library, we did trunk or treat, and we gave away books. It was so much fun. Trunk or Treat, published by Clarion Books. It's time to get going. The big day is here. Buckle up all. Let's get into gear. All right, so they're packing up their car with all their goodies, their Halloween goodies. The chilly air buzzes. It's happening soon. Trunk or treating is this afternoon. My family designed an incredible trunk. Cool ghouls and goblins. It's a slam dunk. With streamers and tinsel, it's got lots of flair. Can't wait to show you when we get there. And they're driving to with the parking lot where they have trunk or treat. Yay, we're here. Let's find our spot. The cars gather round. All trunks go pop as they open. Each trunk tricked out with unique treats, so much to see, and nice people to meet. Here they are opening the trunk of the car. Our costumes all feel like a big surprise. The sweet smell of fall, apple crisp, pumpkin pies. And now that we're dressed up, hip hip hooray, we all know which special words to say. Trunk or treat, trunk or treat. Give us something fun to be as they get into their costumes. Costumes on, we explore in disguise. Ghost, witch, and vampire, all eyes on the prize. Trunk or treat, give us something sweet to eat. Oh, yes. Candy and apples, good treats to taste. Into our bags, they won't go to waste. Trunk or treat, trunk or treat. Give us something bright to see. The colors are stunning, the calaveras too. I'd give this trunk first place, wouldn't you? So the calaveras is the skull. See the skull? That's a specially looking skull for Day of the Dead, which is a Mexican holiday. Trunk or treat, give us something new to read. Look at that. Books in the trunk. That's what I give out on Halloween. Come to my house, I give out books. Shelves and stacks send chills up our spines. Open the covers, find magic inside. Trunk or treat, give us something strange to eek. That's a scary trunk. This trunk is eerie, that spider so hairy. With big eyes, long teeth, that monster looks scary. Trunk or treat, drop the beat, we move our feet. What did you think? Music is bumping, dance to the sounds, wiggle like a worm, shake your booty all around. Did you notice it's a little hard for me to read that print? Trunk or treat, our celebration is complete. We peel off our costumes, then close the trunk doors. We've got candy, fruit, books. It's treats galore. We head home with our treasures, which we're eager to share. Trunk or treat was the best. We loved being there. Though it's tricky for such good times to end, we left with the best treat of all, new friends. And now they're home again and they can eat their candy and read their books. The end. Trunk or treat. Okay. Thank you. Happy Halloween. And if you have a favorite Halloween story you'd like me to read online here, just let me know. You can find me at the library. Bye for now.